Welcome to the JFK assassination, Do the Math, Part 11. This is part 1 of 2 videos that not only show indisputable proof that the 2 congressional investigations into the assassination of President Kennedy were wrong, but the Warren Commission Report was intentionally faked and evidence was destroyed. The second part will show you how to get Congress to reopen the investigations. Here's Part 11A, the 3 indisputable facts. There are indisputable facts in the assassination that prove the Warren Commission Report and the 1978 Congressional findings are pure bunk, and therefore the investigations must be reopened by Congress. In this video, I will cover 3 of them. The first fact that is indisputable is the pristine bullet was not the bullet that caused all of the wounds to both President Kennedy and Governor Connally, which means that President Kennedy and Governor Connally were hit by completely different bullets, not one as stated in the single bullet theory. And the reason is so straightforward and so simple that everyone will agree, even today's members of Congress. The simple reason was given in the testimony of all 3 autopsy physicians. All 3 doctors, Hume, Fink, and Boswell, were asked, under oath, if the pristine bullet could have caused all of the wounds to both President Kennedy and Governor Connally. All 3 doctors testified no, that it was not possible. Dr. Hume said it best. Here is his testimony given under oath before the Warren Commission. First, Attorney Specter, who would later become Senator Specter, asked, Dr. Humes, under your opinion, which you have given us, what effect, if any, would that have on whether this bullet, Exhibit 399, could have been the one to lodge in Governor Connally's thigh? Commander Humes: I think that extremely unlikely. The reports, again, Exhibit 392 from Parkland, tell of an entrance wound on the lower mid-thigh of the governor, and X-rays taken there are described as showing metallic fragments in the bond, which apparently by this report were not removed and are still present in Governor Connally's thigh. I can't conceive of where they came from this missile. The reason I believe it most unlikely that this missile could have inflicted either of these wounds is that the missile is basically intact. Its jacket appears to me to be intact, and I do not understand how it could possibly left fragments in either of these locations. You can find Dr. Hume's testimony online in the National Archives. It can be found in Volume 2 of the Warren Commission Report, starting on page 346. The other 2 doctors' testimony immediately follow his. They completely agreed with Dr. Hume's. Let me break this down for you. There were a number of metal fragments from a bullet found in the wounds of the right wrist and left thigh of Governor Connally. Both wounds had bullet fragments that were large enough to remove and fragments so small they were not removable. All of these fragments showed up on the X-rays. However, there was 0 amount of metal missing from the pristine bullet. No fragments at all came off that bullet. That is why it was dubbed pristine. This and the testimony of the other 2 doctors were completely ignored by the Warren Commission. That means the pristine bullet theory is false, and this fact alone proves that the government lied and that the investigation must be reopened. Even worse than this first indisputable fact was the second indisputable fact. The government not only lied with the single bullet theory, but it destroyed the evidence. The government stated that the pristine bullet was the only bullet that caused all of the wounds to the president's neck, and all of the governor's wounds was found on Governor Connally's stretcher because it fell out of the leg wound. Since it is impossible for the pristine bullet to have caused the leg wound, that means the government planted the evidence, and the actual bullet was intentionally discarded or destroyed after being removed from Governor Connally's thigh. And that is absolute proof that the government faked, manipulated, and destroyed the evidence. And that fact alone proves the investigation must be reopened. The third and final indisputable fact is the rotation of the president's head from right to left as a result of being hit by the fatal headshot means the shot did not come from the 6th floor window of the school book depository building. Why? Because the head rotation from right to left could only occur from a bullet striking from behind, having been fired from the left of center, then passing through perpendicular planes in a left-to-right path. Let me explain. When the bullet entered the skull at the back of the head, which formed the first plane, it pushed the back of the head in the direction the bullet was moving, which was generally from left to right. But because the head was held firmly to the body by the neck, the front of the head had to rotate from right to left as the back of the head tried to move from left to right. Additionally, the bullet almost instantaneously exited out the right side of the head, just in front of the right ear. The right side of the head formed the second plane, and that plane was perpendicular to the plane in the back of the head. The bullet striking the right side of the head from the inside reinforced this rotational head movement. Had the bullet exited out the front or very near the right temple, as it would have been required if a bullet had been fired from a sixth-floor window, the head would have been pushed forward and down. Add to that the direction of the main part of the fusion, and together it means that the fatal headshot could not have come from the sixth-floor window. It is, in fact, mathematically impossible. Now, I am not the first person to find this particular horizontal point from which the assassin fired the fatal bullet. Mr. Dale K. Myers, in his work, Secrets of a Homicide, placed the horizontal point at almost the same exact spot as I have. However, he made an easily correctable error in the placement of the vertical position. I explain his error in my video, Mr. Dale K. Myers' Error and How to Fix It. This video can be found on my YouTube channel, KENS 167. Each of the facts I have presented independently prove the two congressional reports are wrong, and the first, the Warren Commission Report, was intentionally falsified. Therefore, the U.S. House of Representatives must reopen the investigation. Additionally, they must get all of the facts out to the people by declassifying the hidden documents and making them available online so everyone can see all of the facts. After all, this is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And the people demand to know the truth. In the video that follows, how to get Congress to reopen the investigation into the JFK assassination, you will get to see how to get Congress to reopen the investigation. Thanks for watching.